welcome to another episode, Big Motion, with Big Smoke. You did?
Yes, sir.
You know, as of recent, you know, we've been hearing people like Finesse2Tymes, you did Black Rob, Nipsey, you know what I'm saying, Young Dolph, amongst others, always speaking on keeping publishing. Today we're going to speak on what exactly is publishing and how does it affect the culture today.
What's your cut on that?
But man, the first thing when I think of publishing, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm already having an understanding it's about the writers right off top, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, as years came along, you know, people was selling their publishing and now they're selling their old catalog. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When they come to those publishers, that's usually where your ghostwriters and all that comes from, because they keep close contact with the writers.
Oh, well, yeah, they have to.
Able to, you know what I'm saying, put them in spots, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
New artists coming up to make sure they get their guaranteed hit. You know what I'm saying? So far as writing off the publishing, tell me your thoughts on that, bro, because there's so many, you know what I'm saying, going for the advance.
Well, the thing about publishing is, you know, it's one of the things that sustains the artist. You know what I'm saying? Especially as you build your catalog, you know, publishing is very important. What I recently found out is that publishing is not just a finished song that you have. It's not just a finished product.
Right.
You know, it could be just an idea. You know what I'm saying? You might have a bass line for a song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you doing the bass line, and it might add some strings to it. In other words, publishing can also be an unfinished product of a song. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the whole song or just the finished product. You know, it could be just ideas. You know, or it's that same thing with writing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say, well, if you write a song, you may not have a beat to the song, but you know, go ahead and put it in your PRO and your publishing, go on and copyright it and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all a part of your publishing catalog. And I just found that out, you know, today. But as far as signing your publishing away, that's not a smart thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And it depends on what position the artist is in also.
Well, what we want to explain also is when it comes to publishing, what you actually do when you sign away your publishing, it's actually a composition, should I say, rights. You're giving away someone. You know what I'm saying? And as you said, just the idea, you know what I'm saying, being published. That way people, they can keep in contact with it to where if anyone uses it, you know what I'm saying? The only thing about it is they look at it to own.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Especially
the companies.
When you sign that off, it's no longer a such thing as a lifetime.
Right.
That's been signed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think about now today in a league to where we're looking at a lot of artists selling their old catalog?
I mean, a lot of artists are selling their whole catalog.
I mean, even though it's long paper.
Yeah,
it's long paper.
You have to have an extensive catalog for it to be long paper. You know, I just saw something where Justin Bieber was getting ready to sell his publishing for $200 million. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is a big money maker for people that have an extensive catalog. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, he got a whole bunch of ideas, I'm sure, that he ain't never finished either. So when they buy that catalog from him, they can use all of that, you know, because he's selling it. Now, you know, you can buy your publishing back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just depends on, you know, who you're dealing with and how valuable they think the publishing is.
Now see, the thing about it, with that, even with a record being a publishing deal, at least with the publishing deal, you will be able to have partial, you know what I'm saying, ownership of it. When you actually sign a record deal, they take complete ownership.
Right, that's right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
And of course, we only speaking of the cons of it. Let's also think of the pros in it. You know, having a publisher and being even a good writer can get you syncs.
Right.
You see that?
Right.
That money comes a lot faster than the stream money. Because the stream money is small.
Stream money ain't. It's
and you may wait a year to get it. See, with that sync.
Yeah, sync licensing is where it's at, especially for artists that don't have like a big following, a big fan base. You know, I've been recently trying to look into sync licensing. You know, trying to see if I can get a few songs in my catalog, you know, on TV shows or movies or what have you. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done any extensive research on it, but I'm definitely, you know, sometime in the near future, will definitely be putting some thought into sync licensing. Glad you mentioned that. That was it's a great avenue, especially for producers that produce all the time. Right. You know what I'm saying? Once those people, from what I understand, what I hear is, once you're in there, and they're gonna be seeing your name all the time. Once they use you a couple of times, they're gonna come back to you because they've already dealt with you.
Well, what happens if you are, let's say you are newborn to the publishing game, it's no different than the game it used to be with the record game, where anybody can't just walk up and get in. What it'll take is a literary agent, someone that's already connected, to suggest you and bring you in, or usher you in.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's finding that person.
Yes.
It's the thing. And not only finding that person, because you can find anybody, it's trusting that person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. That is the hard part of trying to find somebody, agents or publishers, you know. You're just finding the right people to deal with, and sometimes you may get the wrong person or the wrong people behind you, and being that you green and don't know what to expect, it's easy for them to take advantage of you. That's why it's so very imperative that we as independent artists, that we learn the game the way it needs to be learned, the things that we absolutely need to know. You know what I'm saying? We have to do our research. A lot of artists don't like to do their research, because that's why they sign the deals, because they want them to do all the paperwork.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you have two types of publishing here. You know, you have your full publishing. You also have, you know, the administrative publishing. We have people like TuneCore that'll help you.
Right.
Of course, you have an upfront fee, but that'll be the only flat fee you pay. They'll take care of all the business paperwork, all that, movies, commercials, sports, things of that sort. Today, as we look back and we see artists that we see go back to the mud, tell me your thoughts in all the years of us seeing artists do great music, drop great records for the world, but have nothing compensated. But shows, when those songs run out, to look at our artists there, the great things they brought. Tell me what that makes you feel.
You meaning the artists before us that didn't get their just due?
Most definitely.
One person come to mind first is Uncle George, man. George Clinton. You know what I'm saying? You know, he signed away, published so many times till so many different people owned his music, and he wasn't being compensated. you know, they was taking all his money. Now, as of recently, his children and other people have been helping him get his publishing back. You know what I'm saying? And all the rights to all of his music. This is the reason why this man is still touring now.
Wow.
Because he has to do these things to pay bills and to stay, you know, afloat until he can see all of the rights to his music come back to him and his family, man. It's tough, man. It's tough, especially back then when, you know, he was hot. You know, there's a lot of people out there that would take his money, be like, yeah, I'll take the publishing, and they give him money. Oh, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And then he be thinking he might buy it back for him, but he don't. They just messing over. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible, man, the way they've done these artists.
To give people a clear understanding, we don't want to make no mistake about it. You know, when we speak publishing, we always speak on the master. And we seem to want to combine the two.
Right.
When it's actual two
separate things. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When you go in these record deals and you're talking about a masters, and you record that song and the work is done, the ownership of that goes to that record company.
That means if you sign to it.
If you sign to it.
Absolutely. The master.
That's your master. Your publishing is something completely different.
Absolutely.
I remember being young in the game and hearing a friend of mine say something that moved from me. It took me years to sit down and think about what he was saying. And he told me, man, oh man, I need to hire a publicist. Not understanding the publicist is gonna hire you.
Right. It's very well
hire you. Right. Okay, so just giving the folks an understanding. Also, how do you become a publisher? Register, BNI. You feel what I'm saying?
CSAC.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Failure LLC. You dig what I'm saying? Educate yourself on exactly what a publisher does, what's needed. Get connected with folks that can pull those type of strings that you need.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? Where music can get synced and put in places that you need. What type of experiences have you had with publishing? All bad experience.
Look, it's bad experience, you know, dealing with DMD and MSO, you know, he asked us to sign away, you know, our publishing because it was something about getting Electra to give us more money or something like that. You know, and it was a nice little lump sum of money, but when I look at it in hindsight, I think that was a bad move. You know, on all of our, it was just a bad move because everybody did it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was doing it to thinking that it was going to be the best thing for the entire conglomerate of people. You know, and that's the way Dory made it look to us. You know, so I'm not sure. I guess Electra would probably still own, you know, our publishing. You know what I'm saying? Because Dory, he ain't doing no music right now, or at all, I don't believe. You know, but yeah, that's the bad experience I had with publishing. You know, I don't know much about publicists. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't had one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I do know a couple of publicists. You know, Julia Beverly is a publicist. And, you know, she's real about hers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, definitely. Especially a strong arm, yeah, real tough.
Absolutely, man. Can do what she want to do.
You said that name and remind me of the Cash Money deal she helped push through.
Oh yeah.
You know, you dig what I'm saying? And she's one to also make sure the artists, you know, get most of the, you know, the artists get out.
That's right. She was chant of pimp.
But let me ask you this, because I mean, since we on that topic, you know what I'm saying, and I think this will kind of open up the conversation a little more. To make these type of decisions, especially when talking publishing, and longevity money, there comes a thing called trust with the folks around you, and not only them, your business partners. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
How valuable is trust in the heart? Do you think that and how do you go about knowing what to trust and who to trust in this game?
Trust is very important, especially in your inner circle. Because if you can't trust the people you're dealing with, you're not going to be able to get any good business done. You have to have, so that's why you have to have a strong inner circle. If you don't have a strong foundation of anything, if there's cracks in that foundation, you know, down the line, as they're building on top of that foundation, you're going to have some foundation damage. Right. It was a crack in the foundation at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Trust is very important, but the further you get, when you start dealing with these companies and things of that nature, you can throw trust out the door. Because they are a record company is a bank. Do you really trust banks? You know what I'm saying? No, nobody trusts banks. You know what I'm saying? Nobody trusts credit card companies. But record companies use them all the time. You know what I'm saying? And the interest that the record company is going to charge you is a whole lot more than what a credit card or a bank loan going to do.
Absolutely.
You know, trust is imperative in your inner circle. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And also educate yourself. You know, don't rely on the thoughts of the game, what the game should be in your mind. You dig what I'm saying? Study the game. Get a clear understanding of what it is and what it ain't.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And legislature, so far, the trust around the plate, you just let the cards fall and where they play. We have to trust our instincts. You know, I feel like we lean on too many others' instincts and what they think, what they see through their eyes. You know, I think, you know, artists need to take it upon themselves. Hey, man, you know, as we grow, you know, do what's necessary to be successful. It's not always about satisfying everyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because it's putting us in positions and it's forcing us to do things a lot of us are not used to. You understand what I'm saying? It's really, really changing the game. I mean, you have to understand that at the end of the day, it's a business.
Absolutely. Business first.
Business first.
You know, show business. You know, the show is the shorter word. The business is the longer words. The longer words is the most important word. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed, brother.
With that internet during this process, you know, as I said, publishing is also good when it comes to singing because, you know, as you said, even when things not really taking off, you know, just that it gives you those opportunities, those loopholes, you know, to make money. You dig what I'm saying? And not only that, it gives you a reach. And of course, it may not give you a reach, you know, biggest radio, because it all depends on, you know, who all watching the channel, who all watching the movie, or what have you.
Participation.
But yes, it's a main thing. And I really think that's what we'll win. But signing it over, you don't even have a chance.
No, man, you don't, because you get into a situation where if you said it one time and you know you might want to buy it back, you know you're gonna pay more than what you know.
They're paying to get out of record deal.
Yeah, man, you can't now.
They're gonna try to get what they think they're gonna make off you.
Absolutely.
They had you on that contract still.
Yeah. You know, P had to buy Snoop out of his deal.
Big Smoke.
Right on.
Just speaking on, trust in the game and publishing. Now we don't speak on, the thoughts of artists in the game went under those type of pressures. Most of the time, these artists assign these fields in critical positions in their life.
Right.
A lot of them fresh out, a lot of them just doing bad. When you putting up that much money for someone, I always wanted to say, you have to understand publishing, passion, and all that. Well, what was it like when you was able to see people even come by and tell you, man, Mitch, I just signed the deal, and you thought it was a great thing until they came back and told you, man, it was a terrible experience, bro. So you can experience it yourself.
Chad tells the story that when they went up to go sign the jive, that's a dime. When they went to go sign the jive, they had just signed, and they was in the hallway celebrating, and got their little checks and everything, and they saw KRS-One in the elevator, and they introduced themselves, and Chad told Chris, hey man, we just signed. He said, did y'all sign? He said, yeah, we just signed. He said, KRS-One said, fuck, and got off the elevator. That's their first meeting of Chris Park. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One. That's how bad that is. Because you look at one of your heroes, both of them love, we all love KRS-One. And for them to get that reaction from him, of course, you feel like you made a big mistake. And then down the line, when you figure out, well, yeah, I did make a big mistake. But you didn't know. How could you know? You understand what I'm saying? How would you know that it would go that way? That's why record companies always want to get young people to sign. People that they find that's working at a deli, like your boy was 6ix9ine. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They created something. Now when they create that image, they own all of that.
Oh yeah, once you sign it.
Yeah, you don't own yourself anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible experience, man.
Well, I guess the understanding would be from the label side of it, that you would need someone to invest. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not able to do it yourself. So they'll try to maybe use leverage saying that, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll be the reason. They'll push out in the machine also. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Take it to a whole nother level. Now let's say you got something that'll hit radio. Because even though streaming is in right now, radio still have a long reach.
I believe that. I believe that. Public radio, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when you look at it, especially right then in the moment, it's kind of hard to say no to the money. But who's to say even if I'm in the moment that this moment even happened again? This might be my only chance. What can you tell for artists like that, though?
Well, it depends on what type of situation you're in.
Yeah,
that's why a lot of record companies look for inner city kids that ain't never had anything, because it's easy to put that carrot in front of them, dangle that carrot, and they're gonna chase that carrot. You know what I'm saying? Like the commercial, almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that. You know what I'm saying? That's what record companies do to young kids that ain't never had no money. And that's why when you look at rap as a whole, you know, they give the artists this jewelry, the cars, and all these things, these flashy things to catch people's eyes, to make people want to idolize that type of image.
Right.
You know, that's creating the marketplace for them to sell that. And they selling you a dream.
Absolutely.
You know, they're not selling you
sitting
anything.
on the yacht while you in the club having a shootout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they writing insurance policies on you, you know, in hopes that you probably will get killed if they don't set it up themselves.
You know, when we speak of trust, you know, it just came to my mind. I was just thinking, R.I.P. Black Rob, Biggie, you know, Puff.
Birthday
had a situation where he had Biggie's publisher. He bought it from him. And, you know, Biggie probably sold double what he sold when he was living then. And, you know, to look at that and see no backing for Big Mom and, you know, sons and his son rap, you dig what I'm saying? It's critical.
Yeah.
It's critical, but it goes back to what we were speaking on when we were saying the trust. Being trusted. You dig what I'm saying? So we have to know where to draw the line.
Absolutely.
Between business
and friendship.
You understand? No matter how close we are.
Right.
Right now we're doing business. We got to conduct it today.
No doubt. No doubt.
And you look at folks like Shine. Shine got in a situation with Puff, you know, to get locked up, have representation at first. To have representation took away from it, depending on the label, trust of the label. You got to sit in at what, 8+ or 5+. That's something he didn't do.
That's right.
I mean, it's a fickle game.
Very much.
It's fickle people. Where it makes me think, how can we manage? And what can we trust but ourselves and our instincts? You know what I'm saying? If it don't feel right, it ain't right.
That's right. You have to go with your gut feeling.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I think we going too much on it. Then we going off too much emotion also.
Oh yeah.
It's business, bro. It's not emotion. I look at what 50 doing with T.I. It's aggressive with how he's doing it. But 50 is really throwing alley-oops to folks if you look at it. Because they getting the looks they need. Right now, T.I. album is #1 single.
Yeah.
I mean, you dig what I'm saying?
You know, all publicity for those type of artists that's already established is good publicity. Because it keeps their name in people's mouth. You know what I'm saying? And they also know that they can, what's going on, they can stage these things. All they do is talk to each other and they implement the plan and create the marketplace for what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? What they're doing is they're trying to do the manipulation instead of the companies doing the manipulation. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to do. And I don't disagree with it, but I don't just agree with it either because, like I'm saying, it's being staged. It's a stage. You know, they're acting, and you know, 50 is one of the biggest trolls in hip hop, man. You know, that's the alley-oops, like you say.
You just have to understand.
Right. Right.
You know, it's not always be. You know, he's one that sees the hustle.
That's it.
He sees the lane and try to push you there. Yeah, so he may shoot that jab at you. It's your turn, your decision to go at it.
And then he can monetize it.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
You know, they can capitalize on their own stage stuff. And that's cool that that's the route but it's really the only route they have right now. Because the music game is trash. You know, especially with just the business aspect of it, man, it's crumbling anyway. You know, it's time for the independent artists to do their research and do what they need to do, because you don't need the machine. The machine is the social media. The machine is the internet. You know what I'm saying? That's what the machine is. You don't need the company.
Not at all. Not at all. Especially if you get off into YouTube ads and things like that.
Yeah.
They're doing 500 to 1,500 just off that. I mean, it's so many ways.
There's so many ways, bro. So many ways.
You have to do the research to see what it is.
Yeah, and you got to network. You know, call people. You know, we look at podcasts all the time that advertise other artists. Right. You know, stuff like that. When you get to a podcast that's got quite a few, you know, people say 500,000 people. You know what I'm saying, is looking at their podcast. It pays for independent artists to be able to pay that podcast to put your music or whatever it is on their podcast. It's advertising, it's marketing. The artists can do that themselves now. You don't need a record company. You know what I'm saying? That's why the record companies get these, or they making these artists now. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have the shows, you know, what's that, America's Got Talent and all these type of shows, you know. They trying to find people, you know, that they can exploit.
Most definitely.
That's all it is, man.
And don't be afraid and ashamed to pay. You do what I'm saying.
That's right. That's right.
Pay folks for their work.
You're going to have to eventually.
That's a big thing in the game, too. You know, folks don't want to pay for other folks' work.
Yeah, that's true.
And most of all, also, feed your team and bring with you. I've been on so many tours, bro. I've seen people not eating, man.
Yeah, that's sad.
Feed your team, man. Let's make this a better culture. Let's make this something good, bro.
And if you can't feed them, don't bring them.
Facts, bro.
You know what I'm
boys
saying?
eating Cheetos and stuff, man.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That's sad. And you're supposed to be a team. That ain't no team.
But see, we speak all that when our book phase coming out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a phase that you do go through.
You know, and we want everybody to see it, bro. Not realizing how much all this gonna cost, especially from city to city.
Yeah, ask Hammer.
He
He went broke trying to feed everybody good. One of the most gangster cats out there in Oakland. Real cat, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And he was very generous, and being very generous cost him.
Back at you, man. You got some words. I'm sure I say some last words for the people.
One thing I want to say, and I just want to reiterate to y'all, man, please do research all new artists. You know what I'm saying? Find out what all these different royalties are. You know, it's very, very imperative that you find out and figure out what you got going on before you make any moves, man. You know, getting your stuff registered. You know, making sure you, after you do all that, you have an LLC in place to protect yourselves, man. Because you don't want to mix your personal business with your business business. That is two separate entities. You know, when you cross monies like that, you're not going to be able to get where you're trying to go. But before you even get to making money, it's a must that you do your homework and your research, man. Don't be lazy. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of lazy people that just won't take the time, you know, even throughout the day. If you just take 2 hours out of the day and do, say, I'm gonna do research on mechanical royalties, say, you know, for example, Then you go on YouTube and pull up mechanical royalties, man. There's so many videos gonna pull up.
Biggest part of your publishing, real talk.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? These are things you must know, especially as an independent artist. You do not want to go to these record companies not knowing what you're getting yourself into. You know, my advice, I wouldn't go to the record company because they're going to take you for everything you have. You know, but if you know what you're getting yourself into and you're doing the research, just do it yourself, man. Invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's better to go get a business loan from somewhere, you know what I'm saying, than to deal with these record companies that's bogus, man. You gotta pay that down now, man. Pay attention. Nah, man, but yeah, do your research, people, man, and like I say, don't be lazy, man. Invest in yourself. You are your best investment. That's the thing. That's what I would, you know, my last word, you know, man, just invest in yourself, man, and do your research.
See the contract, man, don't sign it out the man.
Please don't.
Please don't, man. Keep your mouths and always watch the publishing clause that's in the contract. Hold your head, do your thing. You feel what I'm saying? And most of all, man, motion.
Big motion.
Big motion.
You did?
Oh, big smoke. Man, tap me, man, on here on the back end. You did? Salute.
Right on.